Kuno care? Shitload.
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno!
If I were to...
The usual being. Have you seen anything out of the ordinary? Or have you seen anything suspicious?
Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the...
Yeah, you tell...
Looks like you're a fagari now. Whatever that means. The suspicious question.
Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. That fucking had one thing. Do you remember how he looked? Fucking growth hormone shit. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away. Kuno tried to get the helmet on. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno. Yeah? That shit means nothing to... You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at... Yeah, cock in boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about...
Yes, you met him at the gates. The one with the boots and the...
Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here, pretend...
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information? Yes, pray pardon, sire. Better to let it be.
Kuno's fucking...
He's trying to hide the fact that he does...
Kuno knows what you meant. Kuno's not a snitch, that's all. Trying to make Kuno sing probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that... You heard Kuno? Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. I don't know. So Mesk or I don't know.
There is no Night City anywhere. That sounds like the name of a city in some pulp science.
Kuno gives this info out.
Thanks, Kuno. That's one name you can now cross off the list.
Fuck are you talking about? What is this?
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing?
You hear the lieutenant hum.
You're testing...
Get lost,
The fuck about it? You're test...
Get lost,
Kuno does...
All around you, rain falls on the great city. The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting. Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hair. Grey sky like great battleships, humid. Your coat shields you from the rain, while the city, sheets of rain over the water. A flight of stairs, the ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on it. Your hair is an oily mess flecked with... The great gates of the industrial harbor are locked. A chill runs down your back. Behind the gates, heaps of supply crates, red and blue metal shipping, La Drusienne, King Dries passenger harbor, cruise ships, Couron, the lower middle class, a silvery curtain of rain over the houses, Capeside apartments. Tower blocks crowd one another. Hallways collapse from the mortar hits of a yard. Rain falls onto the roof. A traffic jam. Rain thrumming on the road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of rooftops, woodwork, and tar. In the rain-swept your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The Coalition aerostatics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover. Way up there, where rain forms,
This rain will not let up anytime soon. At least we are dressed for it. Let's keep moving.
I've got nothing to say to you. What?
How'd you like our harbor? It's but a rest area on the path. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye. Like the mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts.
Understood. This has been of limited...
No problem. I wish the best. The little boy had the good on his promise. To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official union probe, you know. Track it down.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days. So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes. I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk union man about some art.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part. It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
He thinks, not yet. Better to get this business out of the way. Sweeter then.
I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library.
How does it come up?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, and I would leave the boots to processing, but okay.
And Mesqui's epic then, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza. I did some research into this.
How does it come off?
In part. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is... Yes. You said as much. No problem. If you see the...
He is sincerely grateful he is not tracking down pieces of armor right now.
Right to work! Right!
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
I thought we decided to leave it to processing.
Okay, so you can sneak out of your roommate. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. A lush layer of coal now covers. You feel the spirit of Ramut Karzai, ancient hero of Grad, pulsing through you. All that's left is to cover your face in 3 dangerous stripes.
What are you doing? Please wipe your face.
No, you're a proud warrior. Keep it.
Thank you. So, where were we?
A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts. This orange machine is dead still. You slip your... If you want to try...
Equip the pry bar by going to the Tools tab in your inventory. From
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting. Only the red cable is plugged into the breaker box. A few bricks have fallen off.
It means there are fire.
He likes this find.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. I don't need one myself, you see. Sadly, I need this one myself. What I can do for you is answer some questions. Nothing like talking to Park. That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the fourth day to the bat staleness.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare? Oh, come on now. He has his uses. However, corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic.
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect her.
Of course. And I don't... How could I stop you?
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about... Tell her, she'll...
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
Of course, Detective. Until then, is there anything I can help you with? This reality. Ah, yes. The episode.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well.
We may be here a while then.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
We're in Martinez, baby. Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year. I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before.
A brief spike of longing in her upright body. The dot.
This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats.
There's a spark in the air, a live wire hanging in the wind, in your hungover neocortex.
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And yes, we're on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water.
Known to the early Revacholians as Les Immensités Bleues, the vast, lukewarm and unknowable.
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her, and to humanity at large.
I would be happy to. We're in Martinez. Martinez, you would be excused for not knowing about Revachol. The great...
As if it's self-explanatory.
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from in the DeLorean century. 380 years ago. They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. By that I mean, conflicts. We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is. Oh, we're quite a way off. About 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world build.
Silence. The water, the light. There is no recognition. Only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
This is one thought you need.
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Might I suggest not asking them all?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
That is understandable, but perhaps...
Indeed. These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born up for the big time. The revolution. It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the Those would be the communists. Generally speaking...
She's not gloating. It's a relief.
Oh, and the anarchists, too. They shot them well. Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
Yeah, it was a kerfuffle.
Yes. The Insulindian... Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad. I prefer the term risk-averse. King Guillaume, him and tens of thousands of his wonderful... The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything. Liberals are usually middle-class people. Some were rich enough to... They didn't win so much as...
We. She's one of them. Of course.
To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really... The Liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground. The coalition of nations. Grad. Mesk.
There is bitterness in her voice. Tempered.
The moralists believe in keeping everything, at least not in the same manner. This is their zone of control. The
color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial. For a moment, there was hope.
A devout man of the center. Hard to come by. It's good to have someone who takes a moderate... The turn of the century... The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end, nearly the whole world had gotten involved. It wasn't a who, but a what. It made people overthrow their governments. Of course not. It was a highly infectious micro-org from Revachol and Grad. Not far. Why? You and I, officer.
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie? A pair of pants?
A city-state divided into free market zones under the
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill.
The zone of control is the third incarnation of modernity. They developed the
51 minus 8 equals 43.
Time flies. The 20s saw a decade of urban war west of the River Left. The 30s? Things settled. No. It was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s... Welcome to reality, baby.
From the looks of it, the 50s haven't been much better for the zone of control. You can see it in her eyes. Dazed.
I've no right to be dissatisfied. This shirt is Barbara Muscova, this raincoat is impervious to rain and is guaranteed for 100 years. My daughters will... We could have had so much more. Every one of us. If only... Good question.
No, her first.
Then you would have died, most likely. Not far from here. Maybe even right here, during the beachhead, defending the coast the day the coalition took the city. No, almost certainly. The commune would have forced you. Such was the fate of the undecided. They are what they are. Who knows? Anyway.
Not so fast. Who is...
It's a neurological disorder caused by a lack of vitamin...
She conveys it in short, cold bursts, trying not to invest too deep in case he goes down later, souring the entire portfolio.
It's not just me, Detective. All of Martinez has placed its chips on your success. I pray be my guest. It's a neural...
She conveyed in case he goes down late.
Well, it's either bariatric surgery or...
She nods.
Yes, and perform autoerotic asphyxiation on yourself with your funny necktie, out in the open somewhere.
"6 kilometers southwest in the Valley of Dogs. Junior officer, to his left, his partner, Emil Mullins. Yes, he lost his mind," Tilbrook answers. Fingers on the... We always do.
You? You're an officer of the Ars Preciso Mundo. Nothing more nor less.
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international... The RCM's responsibilities are defined by the...
All three are good to know when we are out policing.
there's nothing basic about your role, Detective. Yet, on the other hand, the post-revolutionary decade, they called it the
That's somewhat of an exaggeration. In Revacholians get to keep the...
Yes, Lieutenant. Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, to me, is... And if those authorities drink so hard they need help, nothing more.
Yes, we are. We are.
Yes, that means... Permit me... And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I am here to...
She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
I am the vilest of the vile. I am an ultra. An ultra-liberal. It's a type of liberal. From the revolution. It's, not the moderate kind. No, not like me. I am the nether creature of the... Are you liberated enough to offer up your home on a...
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and...
A fitting punishment, to be forgotten. When the dust settled, the liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power. With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government, I would not have really... Then for my daughter...
Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes. An oil fire on the ocean.
Perhaps. My intellect...
You're no dummy yourself.
A smart boy getting smarter. One basic term of reality at a time. Yes, I suppose...
Seditious talk, man.
Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother. And a wife. Now, shall we return to reality? A bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar region? Some sort of krill hunter? No, wait. You're an ancient ruin. Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing. Ah! This is the... or two. A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings. This one used to be mostly the urban middle... Splat, splat. Wonderful. The girl in the old lady rags. Looks like a sullen and rebellious Yes, you and I belong... She prefers a fantasy world. An infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the supraculture. I can't. That's how simple... All right. What next? Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. More lessons in basic reality. Glad to have been of...
Yes? Excuse me? Detective, if I may be frank, you seem to be in a deranged...
Oh, so you're an unaccountable wreck who has to be supervised?
Some you time? This is a police investigation, not a journey of self-discovery. You'll still have your evenings to yourself. Please do. We wouldn't want your regiment to spill over into the investigation.
Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to Slight, Precinct 57. Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late and argues with his...
I've considered it. I don't think I can say one way or another. I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I am the finest of nothing. Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise.
He's right. There are no airtight theories, just paranoia. You've given it some thought. The bear's eyes are still...
I thought we decided to leave it to processing.
Okay, so you can sneak out of your room maybe, after he's gone to sleep.
Trying to sneak up on me.
This door has been closed with a padlock. No reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. You hear someone walking around. The walking stops. You can feel tension on the other. A poor communard from the...
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant?
Let's go.
It's generally easier to...
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire?
What do I care about some fucking tinner? Ugh, alright, sad piggy. I'll give you, if you haven't been there, the village is a shithole down. No. That's all the snitching Cindy the Skull does for today. Actually, I don't even know why I told you what I have a weakness for animals.
Or a weakness for police officers, miss. Thank you either way.
This door is made of metal and
Give me a moment. Ask away, policeman. The hell am I supposed to know? Another nutjob. Some lunatic lost his...
with how small these rooms are, wouldn't you want to break the wall down?
People come and go.
They probably just moved or died.
No one lives there. Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there. Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. Great. Young people. They're... Oh, that one is a scientist. A future scholar. I think he studies astrology at the community. Something to do with all those stars around his door. Here, the symbol of what now? Huh. I thought Revachol was the capital. I don't want to talk about Deweeters. Addicts. All of them. And sometimes I hear them screaming. They don't like me cleaning behind their door.
It was dirtier there, after the janitor's closet. She avoids the...
We saw unpaid utility.
No one likes them in this building. I don't like talking about...
She mumbles some kind of a response. Hey. Psst. Psst. Hey, yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love? So, what about all that communism you've promised to build? Word on the street, you keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all... Okay, not in so many words. Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it? Very well. I guess no one will... No objections. It's mathematically... Did someone mention cocaine? Anyone? Anyone else? There's one. You should build communism. Precisely because it's impossible. You hear someone walking around and...
Excuse?
You have plenty of reason to enter.
Oh, come on!
That was smart.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates.
Her voice is really cheerful.
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence part?
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown. I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be but that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted? It is. Everyone's... So, the sooner we get this up... Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed. And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't a hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone.
The sum must have been... Oh, it irks her. The incompetence.
Don't ask me what happened with the wall. Both apartments are now, of course.
The luxury of fine things. Just look at those black monk straps. After spending an entire day hustling, who's to say beautiful things give you... Remember, when they come to take...
Gendarmerie, you found me.
His slender figure is backlit. It feels like a Friday. And his shirt is still unbuttoned.
Beautiful. So tell me, are you here to make things right again? Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting. That's nice, but I don't have any...
He takes another drink.
Besides...
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad.
To the city.
A man on high heels stumbles out of a basement club. Music blasting over the entire district. It's chilly, and as the something flutters in the court. It's laughter.
We'll talk. Just not take care of, all right?
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Different, of course. His shirt. His shirt. His shirt. No, come on, detective.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia. My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good.
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
Oh yes, my friend has a great eye for these things. He refuses to tell. That's really all I can tell you about it.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since. EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved—
God, yes. Sweet standardization.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern. It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. A supranational political alliance. You mean Revachol? No, it's one day going to be a candidate member of— No, candidate members do become members. But we were talking about my friend here, not how did any of us become friends. Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola? Oil— Au contraire, it's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people— Sorry, who? But I told you, officer, he's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes. He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, print. I'm just enjoying the view. We're old friends. Nothing's taboo. I'm sure you'll see him around. I'm all ears, officer. The Coalition is only looking out for the economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight. Well, I'm renovating it. It is you could say I'm undoing some of the— Yes, as I said before, I'm a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand.
It's the International Organization for Moralists. Hence, Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the Coalition.
Doing one's job doesn't automatically make one anyone's bitch. Besides, there are more nefarious powers to work.
But of course. Well, do you value freedom? Do you believe in a normal, stable world governed by—
Me? I'm a lieutenant of the RCM.
A very moralist answer.
The lieutenant is practiced in the art of putting on a show for one's superiors.
The Occident is part of— Martinez? Revachol is generally difficult. It's less— But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking. Is this option D usually the most reasonable answer? Sounds like you're a moralist. Moralism. Now, enough of this delightful political— La communauté Your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol. It is the most important thing. It's the central goal of any— which is—
Basically, it makes sure the—
Précisément. That's why the Institute of Price Stabilité works to keep inflation, but not too far below. No. The Coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet? A sound monetary policy is essential. But oh, I don't have my leave. What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a model. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings, because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even, or at least in the downtown La Delta area. Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28%. Oranje's economy is one of the most... About what? Oh, it's very urban and very well... Whatever you wish. The coalition, the economy, and whatever you wish. I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Easy, detective. No need to jump to...
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in. That's when I understood.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Well done, detective.
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities. I couldn't tell you exactly.
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell. Drummers? Why, no.
I think we can drop the drummer angle. That was my bad.
I went back inside.
Were you able to see anything?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly. I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite... Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory... I'm afraid I don't have any...
About what time was...
All I can say is that it was late. My watch. Yes, now I remember. It was 30 minutes past midnight, give or take. No, I didn't see the corpse until the...
It seems this wasn't the... I think we have everything.
Of course. Anything I can do to assist the RCM. A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave. It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And
that's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of...
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful...
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez. It's also about that. It's time to become a citizen of the... It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times. Increment. Yawn. You'd get there fast. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Tisk tisk. Just because you live in the you may never live to see the kingdom of conscience. Your children, what rationality, what benevolence. What a fucking joke. The kingdom is difficult partly because humanity will need to discard many of its also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual. What you want is
Was there anything else? Of course.
This door has been closed with a pad.
Give me a moment. I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them. Yes, well.
Your statements are too...
Yes?
Can I help you? Got the 20 rand. Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need...
Take it easy on him. Deep down, he really hates being the guy who has to remind you. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. This is not the cleanest bathtub in the world, but it's cleaner than the bathtub slowly fills with water. The water is only lukewarm, but still comforting. Like you feel nice and lonely, and so tired. Now you are alone with... They're not even really thoughts, just assorted sensations. None of them acute enough to focus on. Your fingers grow pale and are covered with tiny whirls as the water cools. Your fingers grow pale and are covered with tiny... You see the corpse. You can still smell the cadaver on you. It's going to... Then, houses along a narrow street. A video rental. Darkness on the planet. Your fingers grow pale. Your fingers You see the corpse. Then, houses along a narrow street. A video rental. Darkness on the... You see the corpse. Then, how the waterline recedes as you stand. You are cold now. Your clothes stick. The bear's eyes are... The body is reluctant. Whatever you're planning to do, you need to do it before... It's not completely useless. You're able to reveal a little more of the putrid polymer sock beneath. It feels like the leg is going to come off. See? The corpse doesn't care if you try to take his boots. He doesn't need them. He's probably glad. He's too heavy to move by yourself. This is the right method. It takes some time, but eventually the boots come. Not good. Let's pin this on the bear. The ice bear tore up his legs with its... Yes, these absolutely need to be... Didn't the whirling have a kitchen?
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Come back later.
These boots were probably left on the corpse because they were impossible to pull off while it was hanging. Hopefully, you will know who they belonged to very soon. The size seems about right. Once you get the... You've seen too much to be that naive. Even if you don't remember it, you'll never know. This industrial gas-powered stove has been used. There is a variety of soaps and bleaches. It's bad with those boots. Don't be stingy now. The delicious smells of... All right now, chef. Light up the stove and boil them. A commercial pot draws your attention. It's very large, gigantic even. It could be used to... The strong smell of vinegar forces you to step away from the pot. The strips of polymer fabric and human tissue separate from the lining of the boots. The boots look cleaner and cleaner. Those bits of human flesh are beginning to look cooked. You can smell it too. Just like beef stew. That's it, chef. The boots are as clean as they're going to get. Steam, dense with the smell of strange meat, disappears into the vent above the stove. A pair of real beauties. The boots are shiny, hot, and reek of vinegar. Rigorous self-critique. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. You look down at the white ceramic sabatons hugging your arches and calves, surprised at how well they fit. The hardened vitreous enamel at once sleek. It may be a while before you have all the pieces. Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same. You see a heavy the door does not, but the cobalt blue surface.
Can I help you?
The bear's eyes are still. The bed is still cold from the broken window. The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window.
Here we are again, my broken bud. The waves are You're not cooperating. It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a...
That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. Every cell in your body is moaning in agony, asking, what did we ever do to you?
Now, you're finally thinking about something other than yourself. Let's see how far that'll get you.
Oh, yes. That'll...
Don't be stupid, Harry. It's not happening.
You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people. Really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
Oh, baby boy.
Maybe if maybe if you cracked the damn thing, then you'd feel satisfied and tired. Or maybe if you weren't so hot.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness.
Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that...
The door is closed. Still nothing. Still. This still.
Yes?
Can I help you?
The man ponders.
Hi, gendarme. Another rendezvous. Hello, hello. So what brings you here? Admiring the atmosphere. What about you, officer? Convenient. But what are you doing here? Talking to me? Oh yes, let's see. He knocked on my door a few days after the lynching. Nothing. That I didn't see anything. Why shouldn't he? What friend? No, I don't think it came up. Muscular, handsome, strong, like one of those military types. Yes, but he was speaking to someone on his earpiece. Yes, you know those tiny just reporting back whatever I was telling him. Oh, let me think. He sounded vaguely Oranese. Sure. Anything else on your mind?
It's the sports. He's a sports guy, all about that physical prowess and...
Bye-bye, gendarme.
You look like shit. And I don't mean that as a metaphor. Wow, you seem stable and in control. Now, what do you want?
There's something about this guy that matches. He might be wearing a disguise.
I'm not...
It's not my style, he thinks, glancing at the man in sunglasses and the woman beside him. You know what it is.
Oh, I definitely...
Another life.
Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe. To what station do you think you would belong in this